Okay, so now let's just try to create another table, but this time instead of creating the table using the what? Instead of using simply graphical user interface, let's write a code. So how do you do that? Let's see let's try to create this. We now want to use the similar code here, but instead this time we want to create for programs because the student is enrolled for a program. So let's create something like that. So we are going to say create a table program. Remember, the tables must be in singular. I don't know, I can't zoom this. Okay, I can zoom it. That's good. I can zoom it. Let me just remove this so I can be able to see. Okay, fine. So create a table called program. Let me just zoom in like this. And let's see the first attribute. Remember, don't forget our program will terminate here. So we are going to have program code. These are programs have code. So program code is going to be a character. It should not exceed maybe 15. And it's going to be the primary key. Remember, simply what we are doing, we are trying to follow what is actually here. Remember, we wanted to create a primary key here, so we gave integer and all those stuff. So that's the same thing we are trying to do. Remember, we separated the command, so we have program name. So two programs cannot have the same code. So program name can also not be long, so let's say it be like 25. Bachelor's in blah, 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 blah. I think 50 will be okay. 55, bachelor's in something. And then we count program state. So program state will mean whether we are offering this program. So this can be also a character. So it's going to be, state is going to be the program is either active or inactive. So this should just be like at 10. Program code. Let's program code be 20 just in case. Then let's have the date of record as user. Now you find it's able to suggest for me things that are written in other tables. So date of record. So let it be this is actually our date of record should have been date time. You see it's suggesting right? It should have been date time because we want also it to be time. So something like that. So we can see this should create for us the table we want. So let's try to create several tables, so we can write several of these. This time we want to create, this is a course in a, because programs usually have courses, so we shall have course code. Can two courses have the same code? No. So let's have course code. We shall have course name. And a course state, whether this course is active or not. Okay, maybe this is date of time. Now, what we want to do here, we want to have now a foreign key because we want to link the course code, the course to the program it belongs. So we need a program code as a foreign key. So we're simply going to use something like this, where we have foreign key, we have to select and then that. So now we have to first create the program itself. So let me just scroll this. Let's have the program code. So the program code, let it be having the same thing like here. So it's character 25. And so usually it's good to write the foreign key things as the last thing. So just try to you do it as the last thing. So foreign key. So you can see it suggests for you some things. So foreign key, we need to pass in the program code. That's a foreign key. It's a primary key. Remember, it's a primary key of the program table. So it becomes a foreign key in the course table. So just the way we looked at the concept. So, and then if you look at this, we need type references and then a name of the foreign table. So in this case, we need to have references. And then the name of the table is program. And then we put in bracket, we are linking program code. So let's just create this and see really what happens. So for us to run this, we have this execute. This will execute selected all. This executes the current line. So if you want to execute the line you have put your cursor on, you put that. But we are going to, if you want to execute everything, simply put this. So we are going to execute everything. Now if you want to see whether it has worked or not, it will give you the results here. Let me just try to do this. Let me try to clear this. I don't know if I can clear everything here. Okay, like that. So you can see here it shows whether it was successfully executed. So here it shows that yes, execution finished without errors, and it shows you what really happened, result, query, and all those stuff. Now for you to see whether these tables exist, you can come again to browse data, select there, you can see they exist here. When you select course, you can see course exists with these fields or columns. You can also see that program exists with these columns. Now sometimes when you do this, you may want to save your SQL for another thing. Sometimes you want to use your SQL for other things. So if you want to save it, there's save SQL here. Remember, sometimes you may write the SQL in your Sublime Text. So it depends. So in this case, I want to save it, so I'm going to click here. So it's going to save it. Let me just say this is the create tables. So usually when we save SQL, you save it with the extension .sql, but it's doing it for us, so we don't need to put that. Let's just save that. Okay, amazing. So in that case, if you want, we can actually be able to get them. So we can, when you open our SQL here, you can see in Sublime Text, it looks like something like this. You just need to save it as .sql. So .sql, something like this. So that way we have practiced this part of it. So in the next tutorial, what we want to do is we are going to try to do what? We are going to try to insert data into these tables we have created, and then we will also try to query data, and we'll also try to actually perform all the code. So hopefully this shows you how to use SQL to create tables. So let's meet in the next tutorial.